Hello everyone, Dunk Michano here. Just sitting around having my tea. I want to talk to you a bit about some of the projects and some things that we've been doing over the last few years. In regards to development, last year we secured 2.2 million in funding from the province and the feds to do resurfacing and a pedestrian walkway project. We focused on the main road. However, we are continuing to look for funding opportunities so that we can do improvements to all the roads within our community. Funding is not always easy to get, so we're going to try to get funding to get the rest of the roads done, so there'll be walkways on all our roads. We've constructed 3 new duplexes and begun a prep of lots by removing older condemned homes so that we have space for future builds. We also got to look at lot development and subdivisions in the future, but we need to get that water plant in first. We have increased mandates and opportunity for our development corporation through the purchase of buses and waste and recycling assets that belong to Biigtiging. What that means is that the money we used to pay for these services to outside agencies in the past now stays within our community. So that's the kind of project we need to do so that we keep money in our community. Over the last 2 years, we have been able to advance some critical projects for our First Nation. These projects remain at various levels of submission, from approved to pending approval. The funding applications that can take years, and literally years, sometimes from one term of office to another. So the initial development of application to submission usually takes a few years before you get approval or denial. As chief, I work tirelessly alongside our departments to help guide and offer all political support I can and what's needed so that our future development goals are achieved. In total, we have the potential to have 62 million in projects beginning in the spring of 2022. These include a new school, a water treatment plant, 5 houses, covered rink, and a lifestyle center. We have used our own source revenue, and there's where economic development comes in handy, that OSR again. We've used our own source revenue to develop design drawings and plans for the covered rink, the lifestyle center, and an upgrade project that we're working on for our powwow grounds. Again, own source revenue. It's independent on the federal government for that design money. The investment in these documents are key in submitting applications for funding. It demonstrates the importance of these projects and has pushed us to a higher consideration of the application process. So when we have that design already, we've already got that head start. With so many other competing projects from various First Nations and others, we need to always put our best efforts forward. We are currently working on a land use plan for our community. This involves zoning and plans on how best to utilize the full land base of our community. As you know, we only have 800 acres right now, and we're short of good land to put subdivisions in. So we got to look at zoning. Some of you may have already been a part of the consultation process that has occurred. As we progress, we will be engaging our membership to help guide the direction we need to go. Economic development is a must for our community. We receive inadequate funding, and the funding we do receive has parameters on how that money must be spent. So the federal government controls how that money is spent. We just can't spend it anywhere. If it's for houses, we got to spend it on houses. For roads, we got to spend it on roads. So that's how funding works from federal and provincial government. The OSR revenue generated through economic development is used to help underfunded programs, community development, and community investment. That's why it's so important to get that own source revenue. Our community has invested in the creation of a new company to capitalize on any mining activity within our territory. This allows us to present at the early stages of discussions and ensures that our voices are heard on what contract and business development we expect for our First Nation. We do not sit in the sideline and allow industry to progress in absence of us. They must include us. And that's a must. They must include us. The GMS camps and catering is a prime example of investment in infrastructure. Through our three-way partnership, we have been successful in securing long-term contracts with both Barrick and Barminco. Our partnership with Pick Mulbert and BII has secured our position at Barrick Hemlo as a prime contractor at the mine. We are able to capitalize on opportunities that used to be tendered to other contractors. Makwa Contracting has had tremendous success on securing MTO contracts and Gen mining contracts and other provincial funded projects. It has been able to expand the fleet of equipment so that we have the capacity to go even bigger with how many contracts we can do. We've got that plowing contracts now on 614 and 627. We're going to be plowing our own road this year. MTO is not going to be doing it. We're going to be doing it. We are very close to finalizing an opportunity to be a partner in an aquaculture project on Lake Superior. This will be the first one on Lake Superior, and we are the only First Nation in this region to be involved in this type of activity. The partnership with the town of Marathon on a port authority is very exciting for us. Going beyond a road and rail transportation system, this port would be a tremendous option for importing and exporting of goods and products. This partnership will increase our exposure on a national and international level and allow us to think bigger in terms of business ventures. So that Port Authority is going to open things up for a lot of new thinking. Partnering with 5 other First Nations, we were key players in East-West Tie project through the ownership group BLP and the business corporation of Supercom. Supercom did a tremendous work in training and getting that East-West Tie built. This was a huge success in training, employment, and contracting opportunities. This investment was an investment in not only our business activities, but in our people. The diversification of our economic opportunities is crucial in allowing us to be active in a variety of areas. The addition of these types of businesses to our existing hydro projects will only aid us in establishing a strong foundation of growth for now and the future generations. It's about growth and our ability to compete in markets where we were once left out. They got to include us now. No doubt about it. Transparency and accountability. We have revised the Council regulations, which is the document that outlines the expectations of Council and clearly outlines their roles and responsibilities. In support of the revisions, we are working on a template for Council to complete monthly on their portfolio participation, meeting attendance and community involvement. This information will be shared with membership to increase transparency and accountability. Future planning. In early 2022, we will be continuing our strategic planning sessions and comprehensive community planning sessions. These sessions will be your opportunity to participate in setting strategic objectives and goals for our First Nation. It will be an important tool to help us develop the guiding documents that will help move BN forward in a good way, reflective of the input and values of our members. Reclaiming our lands. We are continuing to prioritize our presence. We're continuing to prioritize our presence and activities throughout our lands, from canoe trips to camping construction to trail and renaming projects. We understand the importance of honoring our history and how critical it is to include it in our current day activities. The connection to our lands can never be understated, and is a reason land-based curriculum remains a fundamental principle of our education system. So we want to continue with that land-based curriculum in our education system. Miigwech, thanks for listening. Mamapi.